guys and gals? Nary here from Drake Wing Gaming. Just you know me on Twitter, The Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming back at you another Let's Play episode of Santa Lucia, Nate's Path. So I'm running the latest build that just came out. So revamps Brian's and Kane's sprites. I don't think I've seen Kane yet, but I'm sure I will. Also, I heard some people talking about Kane's route is now confirmed. So I guess that's another route I'll have to go through. But anyway, y'all, let's go ahead and jump right back into it, shall we? Alarm chain, you were up, baby girl, and let's go. Have to maneuver around the line in front of the cashier before I get into the store proper. The faint sound of music squeaks out of the building's stereo system. It's so generic and mindless, I can feel my brain melting out my ears. I turn down one of the aisles, partly to avoid the crowd and partly to check for any interesting snacks. It'd be nice if they had some caramel-coated popcorn. Or some brownies. Near the end of the aisle, I see a bear girl holding up 2 boxes of cereal and shifting her gaze between them. Looks like she's trying to figure out which one she wants to buy. She doesn't spend too long on it before just dropping both into the handbasket at her feet and moving on. The thing is already overflowing. She's probably going to want to grab a second one at this rate. I think I recognize her. Wasn't she the one rushing with her parents into the sophomore dorms a couple days ago? Man, I hope I have my shit together better than her by the time I'm a second year. It's not a cheap load of groceries she's carrying. Ah, perfect! Eyes sparkle when I spot a box of my favorite caramel popcorn on the lower shelf. I should have room in my backpack for a couple extra things, so I think I'll stock up on some snacks while I'm here. I grab one of the boxes and stick it in my handbasket along with a couple bags of assorted chips. Once I'm satisfied with the selection I have, I wrap around the corner down another aisle. I wonder what the prize inside the box will be. Such a kiddie thing to think about, but still. It reminds me of when my sister would come home with big boxes of these. They were her favorite too, and they always had the coolest toys and stuff in them. Huh? About halfway down the aisle, there's a tall pileup of boxes with barely enough room to slip around. I see a hand reach up from the other side and pull the box from the top of the stack down. Not long after, my ears are met with the sound of tape being ripped off. This is inconvenient. Just on the other side of the hot food section. I'd really like to get my entree now. I guess I could backtrack, but that would mean dealing with the checkout line. Nah, I'll just try my luck at slipping by. Youch! Shit! I wasn't watching my feet, paying more attention to my backpack and the handbasket. Looks like I stepped on the guy's tail. Oh, hello! Excuse me, I did not mean to block the aisle. Carlos? I stared dumbfounded at the tiger. Ben? I'm sorry, I didn't see your tail. That's when I noticed the name tag on his shirt. Huh? It's okay. He brushes it off and continues opening the box. Without looking at me, he pulls out several packs of uncooked rice and places them on the corresponding shelf. What are you doing? Ha! His arms slump down for a moment, then he turns to address me. I work here now. Are you gonna make fun of me? I blink absently. You do? Why? It's none of your business. He turns away again, but not before I notice his face turned red. I think back to what Karina said at the cafe. I fold my arms and frown. I'm really bad at this, aren't I? Just because I have a free ride doesn't mean everyone does. I'm sorry, I didn't realize. He glances up at me while pulling more groceries out of the boxes to arrange on the shelves. If you have to know, there is a program that helps low-income students pay for tuition. Chris helped me apply. Oh, is that what you two were whispering about the past few days? He pauses for a moment, then gives a forced nod. My loans only pay so much. I need to pay for the rest. Please do not tell the others. I won't. The stereo system continues to blare out the remarkably unfitting music. I can tell Carlos isn't comfortable with this interaction. I should think of something to say that'll smooth things over. Apply for grants? Can you apply for some grants? I know I got a really beefy one for being Native American. There aren't a ton of them. There aren't a ton out there. Aren't there a ton out there for tigers and Latinos? He stops moving for a second. Huh. He reaches up and grabs a new box to open. I have no interest in those. I do not want special privileges because of my heritage. I want to succeed because of hard work, not charity. I appreciate the suggestion, but this is my burden and I will deal with it. I see. That's very brave of him, and also kind of stupid. Second, let me pause. Let me take a drink right here, y'all. Coffee time. And that is the last of my coffee. Hope he's able to pull this off. Sensing an end to the topic, I look further up the aisle. There's the hot food section beckoning me over with its delicious aroma. Let me see what happens if I pick another option. I could help you out if I would. Man, I'm sorry you have to do this. If I could help you out, I would. He stops moving for a second. Huh. Ben, I do not want charity. I do not want handouts. This is my burden and I will deal with it. I see. He puts a palm up to his forehead and sighs. Can we forget this ever happened? I have a lot of work to do. Yeah, sure. Okay, let me see what happens if I choose the other option. You'll make it through this. Don't worry, man. You'll make it through this. There you go. He stops moving for a second. What? I've seen how you think. I know you'll be fine. You've got this. Yeah. Alright, the correct option has been picked. Thank you. I want to succeed because of hard work, not charity. Yeah, I get that. Just, if you ever need help, don't be afraid to ask me, okay? I have a lot of work to do still. Oh, okay. Sensing an end to the topic, I look further up the aisle. There's the hot food section beckoning me over with its delicious aroma. See you later, Carlos. Goodbye. I quickly wave a hand at him and start walking away. He immediately returns his focus to the boxes, and I hear the sound of tape being ripped off a new one. Alright, I gotta figure out what I want to eat for lunch. Ouch. I leave the store with $15 less in my account, but at least I've got lunch. Russell was right. If I'm not careful, this place will be a drain on my resources. I wander out onto the overlook searching for an empty table. It may be hot today, but there's a little breeze that'll be amazing under one of these umbrellas. As I get closer to the barrier, I can hear students playing games on the beach below. Man, who has time between classes for that? And why are there so many students in the marketplace today? Practically every table is occupied. I guess the allure of the ocean is too much for some people to resist. Huh. Wonder why I'm not as entranced by it as others. I've only seen it once in person before, and it had Los Angeles attached to it. It's just water, right? Not to mention all the creepy things that live in it. I think I've got enough big bodies of water in Chicago, thank you very much. It doesn't even look all that much different from Lake Michigan. Yeah, water's overrated. Especially since I can't swim very well. Huh. Got teased enough because of it in high school. Don't need to revisit those memories. Eric always wanted me to learn, but I just... Oh! After wandering for a few minutes, I spot a group getting up and leaving an entire table behind. Jackpot! Without wasting another second, I rush for it and plop my bag on top. I know how these things go. If I don't claim it right away, somebody else will. Ah! Right away, I'm hit by instant coolness under the umbrella's shade. This beats being cooped up in a crowded cafeteria for sure. I pull out a chair and take off my backpack sticking underneath the table. Once I sit down comfortably, I open up the bag and pull out the pesto chicken Florentine I bought. Man, I'm such a sucker for pasta. I pop open the bottle of water I got to and take a swig. Time to dig in. When I'm halfway through the Florentine, I check my phone for the time. Drawing class starts at 1 and it's in the art building. 12:30 ain't bad, but I've still got time. I lean back in my chair and enjoy the breeze. A couple of students take the vacant table near mine and start working on their own meals. Oh, hello there. She's got her art still in progress. The chubby bull barely manages to fit in his seat, while the lithe fox sits right at the edge of with perfect posture. Wait a second, I think those are Nate's friends. Nigel and Abby, right? What did you buy, Niall? She speaks with a distinct What did you buy, Niall? She speaks with a distinct British accent. I don't think I can do a British accent, but I can try. Just a cheeseburger and a fries meal. And you, Abby? Addie? Addie is her name, not Abby. Addie. A Caesar salad, but nothing outrageous. Niall and Addie. Close enough. Oh, yeah, he thought her name was Abby. Okay. 1 second, y'all. I wonder if I should say hi. Yeah. He brushes the hair out of his eyes and opens the carryout box. So, what did you think of the first day of drama class? I'd say it was a smashing success. Fox giggles slightly under every word while smiling at the bull. I feel a little guilty eavesdropping on their conversation, but I don't really have anything better to do at the moment. I'll try to lay low. I think I'd rather not realize I'm here. Professor Hawthorne has an energy around him that feels so welcoming. I can't wait to find out what play we'll be performing. Man, I hope Nate leaves a little for the rest of us guys. He tries to find his way into everything, don't you think? My ears perk up. You worry about him too much. Nate's a nice guy. He'll leave room for you to shine if you ask him. The bull shifts in his seat, a bit before taking a huge bite out of his burger. It's not shut, Addy. Instead of waiting to swallow, though, he continues talking. The fox seems unfazed by the behavior, leaning in towards him and chuckling. She plucks a fry from his container and stuffs it in her mouth. Hey! Candace seems to have taken a real liking to him, huh? The bull slumps back in his seat, which causes the hair to fall back in his face. Imagine having the younger sister of a world-famous pop star becoming your best friend. He stares out at the ocean, which causes the breeze to make his hair flutter. Why are you jealous of Nate, Meow? It's pretty obvious. The fox maintains her perfect posture, finally beginning to take small bites from her salad. It is? Maybe not to everyone, but to me it is. You don't like how much time Candace spends with him, do you? The bull takes another bite of his burger, this time chewing it before replying. It's not fair. I'm trying so hard to impress her, but she sees right through me. Then this guy shows up and they're already having lunch together. How long have you known Candace? Since high school. The fox nods her head, showing she empathizes with the bull. Unrequited love. Don't put it that way. She folds her arms and smiles. There's no reason to feel threatened by him, Meow. You know Nate's gay, right? Yeah, I guess. I just don't like how he's taking all her attention lately. The fox shakes her head and puts another bite of salad in her mouth. She is who she is, and there's not a lot you can do to change it. You can't force what you have in mind, and if you try, you'll only push her away. I know. Maybe you should try letting things develop naturally, see where they go. I notice a faint glisten in her eyes before it quickly disappears when she blinks. I don't know. The bull takes one last bite from his burger, finishing it off completely. I'm not sure I trust Nate. What if he's faking the whole gay thing just to get closer to her? The fox's expression turns sour. That's ridiculous. What? Seeming to take offense at his response, she packs up her salad and stands from the table. You're right, I'm sorry. We should probably get going. Next period is in 10 minutes. Right, okay. And with that, the pair take off. Well, that was interesting. I guess Nate's making waves in his friend group, for better or worse. I managed to finish my lunch while listening to them talk. Checking my phone, I see it is indeed 10 minutes before 1. I gather up my trash and put my backpack over my shoulder and head out. I take the quickest way to the art building, which is by following the main path. On the other side of the field, I can see the dorm building. It'd be nice to be done with the day already. Huh? Near the art school entrance, I see someone I recognize hovering by a trash can eating a candy bar. Carlos, what are you doing here? He looks absently up at me. You again? He stuffs the rest of the candy bar in the pocket on his backpack. Yeah, I guess I'm following you around today. Alright. Relax, I'm kidding. I have intro to drawing right now. You do? What, am I not allowed to study art? I fold my arms facetiously. I did not say that. I have the same class. What? Carlos, in an art class? It is a general education requirement. I want these out of the way so I can focus on my major. What's your major, dude? I see. I wonder what made him decide on drawing of all things. Do not stand there. You're going to be late. Eh? I snap back to reality and notice he's holding the door open for me. Oh, sorry. Thanks. No problem. Carlos leads the way to the assigned classroom without a hitch. He must have scattered out where all his classes were earlier. When we walk in, there's a surprisingly large amount of students crammed into the small space. A group of girls mingle together in one of the corners, while most of the others sit waiting for the professor to arrive. Some are even sketching in their pads already. Poor guy. Already looks uncomfortable. Anywhere you'd like to sit? I do not know. He stands with me at the entrance, not willing to make the first move. For someone who led the way so confidently, it's interesting to see him out of his element. We could sit together if you'd like. That would be a good idea, I think. This time I take charge, leading him to a spot in the center of the room with 2 vacant desks. Might as well take out our pads, right? Sure. And zip my backpack and grab the art kit I bought along with the drawing textbook. There's some nice pencils, a needed eraser, and a reasonably sized drawing pad in it. I look over at Carlos's desk and see he's merely pulled out a notebook with lined sheets. What? I think you might prefer something like this, man. I hold up the drawing pad to show him. What is wrong with what I have? He stares down at the notebook in front of him, confused. Well, are you really gonna want your drawings on notepaper? Does it matter? I shrug my shoulders. It might, yeah. Huh. He lets out a frustrated sigh. I was hoping I would not have to spend more money on this class than necessary. What if you end up liking it? He raises his head and starts looking around the classroom. Not long after, the professor enters the room and greets us. Good afternoon, class. The surprisingly young rabbit makes her way to the front and sets up the art easel she was carrying. I'm Professor Shinoda, and this is Intro to Drawing. Class ends about 2 hours later. In such a short amount of time, I've already filled out 5 pages of my drawing pad front to back. Carlos and I leave the building together, being strung along by the crowd we're stuck in. Once outside, we stand under the statue and wait for everyone to go by. So, you're going to ask what I thought of the class, no? I nervously scratch behind my ear. It is something I need to do for my degree, nothing more. Aw, you didn't enjoy it even a little bit? He turns his head to watch the crowd flow by. I do not know. It's better than I expected. I'm sure he'll come around on it later in the semester. Well, I've got a homework assignment due Thursday. Correct. I was thinking, would you like to do it together? You don't have to if you don't want to. I just figured it'd be easier for both of us if we had someone to bounce ideas off of. Alright, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and pause it right there. Thank y'all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell. Leave a super thanks or a tip if you can. It always helps. Until the next video, I love you all. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.